He's the Vice President and Director of the National Security Research Division at the RAND Corporation. Barry, a warm welcome to you. So what do you make of this then? No Xi, or at least we're pretty sure Xi won't be at the G20. No Vladimir Putin either. Does that damage the credibility of the summit somewhat?
I don't think it does. I think you still have the world's, large majority of the world's largest economies there. And I think this is a political decision. I think there's a number of reasons why Xi might have made this decision. One, China is weakening. I mean, month after month, week after week, we're seeing enormously concerning signs about their economy. Their economy is going down. The U.S. is still growing and others. So I think China doesn't want to act from a position of weakness. Xi Jinping does not want to be there while things are going bad for him and things are going good, well for others. He has lots of disputes with other G20 countries, disputes with India, disputes with the United States, Japan, a number of others, and doesn't want to deal with all of them at once. I think China prefers to deal one-on-one, ideally from a position of strength from their perspective, but obviously that's not happening now.
So is it just as simple a situation as he doesn't want to be seen photographed shaking hands with Joe Biden, given that relations between those two countries, and let's be clear, they are the superpowers, given relations have deteriorated to such an extent?
I'm not sure about that part. I mean, I think I think we heard President Biden say earlier today they're going to meet at some point. Is that on the margins of the APEC summit in San Francisco later this fall? Not sure what the reference was to. But I think things aren't going well, particularly badly right now for Xi. And I don't feel, my sense is that he did not want to engage with a lot of these other powerful countries while things are not going well, while he has open disputes. And there's also this sense that he wants to build an alternative world order. You know, we had the BRICS countries coming. They had a summit meeting a week or so ago. And so China was kind of large and in charge at that meeting. And in this meeting, they would not be large and in charge. So it's not a good look for him, I think, from his perspective. And that's certainly not what the kind of perspective that he would like to be seen through.
So your point would be that that's some sort of visual illustration of Xi's narrative that the East is rising and that the West is falling.
Yeah, and the reality is not comporting with that, certainly, at least in terms of authoritarian countries versus others. It's not working out so well. If you think about Russia's power, China's relative power, and the trends, they're not favorable at all for those two countries.
And finally, Barry, what about this dispute that's ongoing with India over the disputed territory in the Himalayas? I mean, it is something of a snub to the host country that one of the world leaders doesn't attend the G20 when every other year he has done.
It sure is, yeah. So it's very much a snub to the Indian hosts. And I think in some ways this is a bit of a miscalculation. I don't think India is all of a sudden going to, react differently and give in to China's positions on that dispute or on any other. So I don't think it's necessarily helpful, but it's not a place that Xi Jinping felt comfortable, clearly, because things aren't going well, as I said.
Okay, Barry, thank you so much indeed for joining us. Appreciate you coming on the NewsHour.
Thank you very much.